All right. Hello and welcome. Thank you all for joining us here today. We are at the precipice of launching. We are doing our soft launch, and it's with great pleasure that we have with us today the inventor of the Bio-Photonic Charger app, Mr. Ian Lyons. And with
Thank you.
that, Ian, welcome. And we have a nice group started here today, and I'm sure they're all super interested to hear from you and the stories that you have to tell, the technology that you have to share as we move forward from here. So, would you like to start with a little hello to the group?
Good evening, everybody. It's morning where I live, but good evening to you. And thank you very much for your interest to join a meeting at this time of your evening. I much appreciate it. Thank you very much indeed.
All right. So, let's just dive in and get started, Ian. So, Ian, can you share with us what inspired you to develop the biophotonic charger along with your personal experiences and observations that led you to identify the problem of electromagnetic pollution as a critical issue to solve?
Uh, Thanks, Mike. Um, I've been in, if you like, the water technology business for 40 years. It's not new. But over the years, some of the developments started to lose their powers. I would say around about 7 years ago, as we started to see the dawn of Wi-Fi and mobile phones, that pollution, environmental pollution, just started to creep in. And around about 5 years ago, we saw a sort of big decline in the power of our fixed energy units. And so I wanted to recharge them. And that started us to develop a recharger. And I was at the time going to be using batteries and Tesla coils. And my sons, I have to say, my sons said, Dad, why don't you use the light that you've been talking about with Professor Pop from Germany? Look at his books on biophotons. And that was the whole start of creating a modular within a mobile phone that uses the light to harness the frequencies that we transfer through light. Sounds crazy, but it actually works and worked instantly.
Oh, excellent. So, and with the for those people who are listening who may not be familiar with the concept of EMF, and can you explain to them the simple terms what electromagnetic frequencies are and why they're a concern to us in this particularly modern world that we're living in now?
To answer that, I've just added a little bit before the environment we all used to live in. And you can see from my age, I'm quite ancient. So the environment I grew up in was we all had sine waves surrounding us from the ground to the sea to the fish to the food we ate to the trees that people used to hug. And so those sine waves carry all the information from your body to your brain and back. They're called sine waves, and you might have seen them, but they look like a river or a smooth equation of a movement. Wonderful. And all the information of life is in there. If you're dead, unfortunately, there's a zero line. But Wi-Fi is completely different, and Bluetooth and even phones, they use a spike waveform. It's a spike like this, and it's very quick. And that disturbs the sine wave. So we can either get very angry or we get very tired. And believe it or not, the gut, everybody talks about probiotics, prebiotics, and all sorts of things. But the gut is really sensitive to this. And the microbes in your gut, which convert all your food into nutrition, they work on a sine wave. And the spike wave disturbs your gut as well. So it's very important to have a sine wave, particularly in your water, which is the thing that converts, if you like, the food in your gut to a sine wave. So that was the most important part of biophoton charging or recharging, so we could put sine waves into the liquids.
Mm, excellent. So, with that all said, you've touched on some of the effects of it to an individual, but now your research mentions that EMFs absolutely disrupts our natural cellular communication. Can you elaborate on how this happens and the tangible health consequences for the average person?
Okay, I think it's easier to explain what happens in natural life. In natural life, when, let's say, plants are given water with spike waveforms, because liquids absorb water, they can transfer information through electricity, believe it or not, which is how if you get earth and you're electrocuted. So if I put spike waves into the water that plants get, those plants either do not germinate, do not grow, or die. Very easy. If I put sine waves into the water, those plants germinate, the seeds germinate, and the plants grow strong and hardy. If I put spike waves are too much, you've all heard about don't hold your phone too often close to your ear, don't sit in front of your computer all day long, have a break. These are the spike waves that are causing maybe headaches, exhaustion, anger treatments. So if we can just gently reduce their impact on the recipient, then like the seeds you germinate, like the plants you grow, like everything around you, it starts to smile. You'll be happy. And so that is the most important thing of a sine wave, and recharging or using the sine waves allows us to remember what we used to have going through our systems, converting and carrying all the information from a brain to a stomach and from a stomach to a brain.
So, with this being such a powerful negative impact on us now, as individuals, is there any safe space left for us?
Obviously, there are. And I would say Canada is one of the best places because you've still got all your forests and the like. And you hear of people going into the forest and hugging a tree, and everybody thinks it's nuts. The downside now is that we've accepted we all need 5G or 6G, and 7G is being worked on. And we use these towers, and I'm sure you've seen all these towers with different signal antennas on them. And they are absorbing the information so you can send it out again. But they all have something in common. They have an earth wire going into the ground. So even when you're walking around what we used to call earthing ourselves, we're not. We're picking up all the spike waves. Probably the safest places next to the beach. We have someone from Panama, a lovely place, long beaches. And if you walk along the beach, just the white bit, the wet bit, where you've got the silica just dampened, it releases a minus ion. And that minus ion is what we used to call as earthing. It's what happens if you go to a waterfall. And the waterfalls coming over the top, you have that with Niagara Falls near Kitchener and the like. You feel great because the air is full of minus ions, which are released from the water as it's coming over the falls. You see, the minus ion is in all spring water. So we have a molecule of plus and minus. So that minus ion is in the spike wave form is diminished. And that is not good for us as developing human beings, in my opinion. In my opinion, I'm an old man. What would I know?
Well, we're going to give you a little bit of credit there. So now understanding that everyone is an individual, everyone is unique. What about the different susceptibility levels for an individual when it comes to EMF or electrical pollution? Everyone is not the same. Are we correct in saying that?
Yes. Yes. There are no two people on this planet the same. And just to prove that, we're all blessed to be actually even living at the same moment, at the same time on this planet. Because if our great grandparents hadn't met and conceived our parents at precisely that moment that the sperm hit the egg, and then the sperm of your mother, let's say, hit the egg, the chances of that is 1,000,000,000,000 to 1. Then you multiply it, those two made your mom or your dad, and then you multiply that by 1,000,000,000, and then you're made. My goodness, the chances of us having that moment together on Earth, we're all here, is fantastic. But every single one of us is different, and we're impacted differently. Some of us are born in stress, some of us have no stress, and this spike wave can impact everyone differently. And that is, for me, as an ex-monk, very, very important, because if I can touch the soul of everyone before I leave this life and join the next life, then that's an amazing thing. But it's not a religion. It's just a gift I was given decades ago. So if I can share it with everybody, I'm happy.
Well, I can tell you that you literally had shivers going through my bones because I have never had somebody explain it in that way to make us truly understand how very unique and special we are to actually be here. Because you're absolutely right. If it wasn't for the exact moment in time, we would not exist. Amazing. Thank you. So at the same time, you've mentioned Monk. Please go back and tell us a little bit of the story in regards to your experiences there and what
Okay.
got you all this. It got you into all of this.
Okay. Well, just briefly, um, I had 2 fabulous years in this amazing country called Tibet, 50 years ago. And so I decided that was going to be what I was going to do. And they threw me out after 2 years. And because I had this North of England voice, don't you know? Now, don't you know? That could transform water. And that I used to talk to water and use the water to do all sorts of silly things that no one would ever believe. So I was able to use resonance and bioresonances and frequencies, and I had no idea what I was doing, none whatsoever, but I was able to do it. Or why? When I walked back to Europe and I looked a mess, I accidentally found on purpose Hamburg University, who said, "Oh, yes, they're all frequencies." And we did all of this, and sorry to say, during the war. So I've now taken some pain as well. And I said, "Oh, that's marvelous." But because everybody else says this is nonsense, oh, no, here's all the paperwork. And they gave it to me for free, zero, no money, would not take any money. They said, "No, this came from a wrong time for us, and we want to help as well." And that's why I do a lot of research and development in Germany, just as a payback, because that was the start of understanding sine waves. And Professor Pop, German, Bio-Photons, biofeedback, German. Guess where it all came back? And they're trying to, if you like, pay back. So that's the background of some of the sciences that we use.
Awesome. So now Can you walk us through how the biophotonic charger works? How does a downloadable recharger app interact with our water and our
Yeah.
physical well-being? And how many years did it take you to get to this particular product?
Well, just to remind you all, it was not intentional to have a saleable bio-rechargeable. It was not an intention. I was trying to recover all the equipment that I had put onto agriculture over the years because they were slowing down. They hadn't stopped, but they were slowing down. So I wanted something to recharge the equipment. And that's how we came across my son and I, and a wonderful man, Dr. Carlos, who's no longer with us, and Dr. Emoto, who is also was a dear friend, and he's no longer with us. Now, just to remind everybody, please have a watch of a movie called Water Has Memory. It's an amazing movie, and it's called by Dr. Benavista. He's a Nobel Prize winner. And the other one is What the Bleep Do We Know by Emoto, and that was an amazing movie. And both of them are not with us, unfortunately. So we use the light to carry frequency because light travels quicker than anything else. So the frequencies, everybody thought that was the important thing, but it wasn't, and it never was. It's the sine waves that carry the frequencies. The sine waves get disturbed, remember, with the spike. So I decided that we have to use light to carry the information into my old programs. So that's where we started. Now, sounds too silly. So I think, is it Mike, is it okay if I show everybody how to use the app? Because that
Absolutely.
answers your question quickly and easily for everybody.
Absolutely. So if everybody is prepared, or if you're not prepared, take a minute to grab 2 glasses of water. And if you have it, you can also grab 2 glasses of another drink. If it's a little bitter, it's good. Equal portions in each. And 1 glass you will put away from your monitor so that it does not get any light from your monitor. And so 1 glass of each away from the monitor, 1 glass of each close to the monitor, waiting for instructions. Take 1 minute and grab yourself something so that you can actually experience from a remote send the frequencies being sent to your water.
And just remind everybody, although this is being recorded, it's fine. Um, when you play back the recording, it won't work. The light on the recording is not carrying the frequencies. It's only recording the light. But in a live demonstration where I'm shining the light onto my camera and you're experiencing that live, you can receive the sine waves and the bioinformation resonances for your water or your bitter drink. And if it's late in Canada and other parts of the world, if your bitter drink is alcohol, perfectly okay, because I'll change that to and its smell.
Hmm. So
Is everybody
get
ready?
ready
Okay,
now. Ian, you take the calm and the instructions.
you're very kind. Thanks, Mike. If everybody wouldn't mind just holding 1 glass of water up, 1 glass of the bitter drink up in front of the screen, making sure that the other 2 glasses of water are behind the screen so that they are not receiving any information, because then we will have a control. Hi, Susan. Nice to see you again. So I'm going to press the start on this unit and we will go into recharge.
So just try to get as much of the water into the light as possible. So we're going to take some comments with you from this. So if you've got a comment, do you know how to raise your hand?
Okay. Now, you put the two, retrieve the other two liquids. One's water and one's
Oh,
bitter.
hold on just a second. I've got somebody saying that there was no light. Um, hold on. Everyone says there's no light. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll send it from my camera and see if it works for you.
Oh, that's strange.
Yeah, I thought so too. I saw the light.
I saw the light.
Yes. I saw the light. Oh yeah, okay. Sorry.
Paul's got his hands up there. Okay. Just shine the light.
So are you okay now, guys? Is it good? All right, thank you, Susan.
All right, just
Okay.
now, if you wouldn't mind, just hold your two waters up. The surface tension of one of them, the one that we've changed, has already gone a little bit thinner. When you click the two glasses together, the one that I've changed will go higher on the glass and will settle down much quicker than the one that we hadn't changed. That's because we've given it sine waves rather than the spike waves that it was in. Now, with your other drink, we'll do the other one, just the absorption thing, because that's very important. Just put your two fingers into the one that we've changed and rub it onto your forearm over here. And put your two fingers into the other one, the other water that we did not change, and put it up to here. And you're already now feeling the one we put onto your hand first is warm, and the one that is not on your hand, not changed, is cold. The warm one is going in through the pores, and the other water is not going in. It's, if you look at them, the one we didn't change is still on the surface. Okay. Now, absorption is really important for the skin, particularly ladies who are doing skin treatments and want to stay young, not ugly like me and with all the lines and everything else. So you really want absorption of your cream. Use this on your cream. You'll be amazed. Put half on this side, half on the other side. Within 20 minutes, you will have already noticed that the lines of the cream that went into this side around the eyes, this one, the lines have almost disappeared. The small lines, the crow's feet. This side, still there. So just if you are selling and motivating anybody, if you're talking to a lady, do that first, because that's instant business. Okay. So that's the water. Now, if you wouldn't mind, if you've got the bitter drinks, just try smelling the one I changed, and smelling the one that isn't changed. You can smell the difference straight away. And now, if you wouldn't mind, smell taste the bitter drink by tasting the one that I've changed, and now taste the one that I didn't change. The taste alone tells you we've done something. Yeah. It's quite extraordinary. And what we've done is, remember the waterfall statement and remember the movies I was talking about? They have something in common. It's called molecular structure or cluster. When your water has, if you like, a DNA in it, it's carrying all the nutrients and everything, and your body says, oh, give me that, but I don't need that one. My body will resolve the issue, and the absorption rate is much higher. Whereas the unclustered structured water, which is carrying your nutrients and the like, your body doesn't recognize. And that's just life. Remember hugging the tree and the sine waves? That's life. Okay. When it doesn't have life, I'm afraid your body is life, and it doesn't really absorb it that much easier. One last thing on this, because people from the north of England, we tell lies. We're horrible people. The next time you have oranges in your area growing on a tree, or you're in Panama or in Florida in the orange grove season, remember this stupid story by an old English man, okay, to prove that life has sine waves. Okay? Pull an orange off the tree, not from the shopping market, not the sine waves have already gone, they're dead. Okay. So pull the orange off the tree, stick your finger in the orange and rub it in your eye. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. Now, wait 10 minutes and stick another finger into the same orange and rub it in the other eye. It stings like a lot. So please put a lot of water on to wash it away. And the difference is the original orange had the sine waves and your body recognized the pH. We haven't changed the pH. We've given your body the ability to recognize what it likes and what it doesn't like. And remember what Mike said at first, we're all individuals. We are absolutely unique from one another and everybody else. So what is good for one person is extremely bad for another. But if you give it a sine wave, your body can decide.
And in that statement alone, I want to emphasize one thing, and you can correct me or not, Ian. We are dealing here with a product and a technology that is absolutely good for absolutely every human being, every animal, and every single plant on this planet. That makes it so unique and such a beautiful, beautiful thing. Because in essence, um, ways that I like to put it is like we're making better human beings, better animals, and better plants.
I explain it that we're taking the stress from something that shouldn't have had the stress in the first place, without using healing hands or pills or whatever. It is just nature finally coming back to life.
Amen. Okay, so now we're talking about the technology. Is it patented technology and is it duplicatable technology?
Okay. Someone's just said you can even see the color change. I forgot to say, the one that has the molecular structure, the first one, the one we changed, is refracting more light. So it's much brighter, and the color of your liquid, it tends to look lighter. That's why. Patentable, I don't believe in patents. Patents, for me, many years ago, you might have seen small little water jets, jacuzzi jets, if you'll call them, for the need of a better word to explain hydrotherapy. I used to do that, and a friend of mine, David Butler, who is a namesake of Mike Butler, and another dear friend, Terry Butler in Australia. The Butlers have gone around the world. But they're not relatives, but maybe it was Mike Butler's father had an influence on a lot of people around the world. So David Butler invented something called a multi-jet, and I used to measure people's bodies, and we put the jets into different places in the spa bath or for a hydrotherapy treatment. So you got trigger point therapy. He patented it. And he told everybody how it was made in the patent. And within 2 years, it was totally copied. That's what patents do. They allow everybody else to make copies. So never patented. And I don't think it'd probably take a whole load of monkeys, probably 10, 15 years to work out how we do what we do. So no, not patented. Not interested in
Thank
patents.
you. All right.
Yeah.
Can you describe how the technology helps to optimize cellular functionality and as it neutralizes the e-smog?
Okay. All right. We just go back to the e-smog. That's a spike waveform. And the answer is inside your gut and all over your body, you have something called aquaporins. Aquaporins are the things that absorb liquid and they clean the liquid and flush it out. They detox your body in a way. So that's aquaporins. But when you have absorption, your aquaporins open and close with the sine wave, just flush and flush. So once you start on you drinking this biophoton water, you'll find that your urine becomes very dark or quite dark because you are detoxing your body. That's the difference of what it does. Scientifically, aquaporins, you're just making them work and function that much better.
Okay. So we've got hydration, we've got detoxification, and we've got at the same time flushing of inflammation.
Yes.
Sound
Yes.
fair? Absolutely.
And non-medical, just in a way that's natural. Yeah.
Okay. I think we've already covered what structured water does for our health. What are the main features of the biophotonic charger system that the audience should be aware of? How does the 1 minute recharge process work? We've shown how it works. And the specific duration that is there, how is that functional to a certain amount of liquid? Is there specifics that we should be aware of as we're using the app?
Okay. I'm using a phone. This one happens to be made by Samsung. This is also another one, and they're both Samsung. A lot of my team also use Apple, so they work on both. The functionality is exactly the same. The performance is the same. Probably, I have to say, on all the tests that we do with living tissue, plants, etc., the performance is exactly the same. But on an Apple phone, you literally have to switch the torchlight on as the music is playing, whereas on an Android phone, the torchlight automatically comes on. So there's just two little differences there. When you shine the light onto your liquid, so if I have a glass of liquid here, remember I said refraction. So if I have refraction in the water or in the glass, if I shine it through here, the glass tends to refract more than here. So the best place to place this recharger is on top of the liquid, not the side. So that's number one. Number two is that the light source will permeate about 1 centimeter and cluster the water at 1 centimeter, carrying the frequencies with it. So you need to turn the liquid anti-clockwise. The same way as the world spins is the way that your water will now take on the rest of the information. The light, or the 1 centimeter of change and your ability to turn it, I would say that the water influences around about 300 to 350 mil of water. So that glass is fine for me to drink. But a gallon of water or a swimming pool, it will not do, which is why I have my other hardware, which at some stage you will get to hear of. But a little trick. So if you don't mind, Mike, I'm going to talk about mist spray bottles.
Absolutely.
Thank you, sir. So, ladies and gentlemen, please don't believe that you're just going to be stuck with a mobile application. What I suggest you do is get a mist spray bottle, okay? Take the lid off and put your charger on the lid. Okay, so I'm only charging through the top. Okay? Let the recharge run all that time, and then if you don't mind, put the lid back on, turn it like that, and now do something really stupid. Spray your head, and you are now at least 30%, instantly 30% stronger than you were before. What? All you have to do to believe me is get hold of one of these little grip meters, okay? Measure yourself before, and then spray it after, and then all of a sudden, at least 30% stronger. Amazing.
And
And
I
that's
will
because you have cleared.
and I will confirm that it is at least 30% stronger and sometimes way more than that.
A lot more.
Okay, excellent.
So yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
sorry, continue.
That's a very good use for it. So it also saves you in a restaurant when you're shining it onto your food and all the other things. Makes a lot of noise for the other people. Unless you're a salesman, then people will come to you, and then of course you make a sale. But if you want to be quiet, just take the little mist spray, spray it around the outside of your glass, and everything you pour into it instantly changes as long as you turn it left. And then it's just like putting the spray on the outside of your body.
Okay, Ian,
Enjoy.
while we're here, we might as well talk about them using the 4 spots on the floor for a kinesiology test, as because to me, that test blows every single person away. It is probably the most impressive test that we do. The spraying is good too, but when you don't touch them and you just spray 4 corners on a tile on the floor and you see the results, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, any customer or potential customer that sees and feel this is instantly aware of the power of water when it's energized, structured, and doing what it does. And we use that same technology or the same concept of that technology to create a basic vortex under your bed and a safe place to sleep where you're again protected from the outside forces. Okay, so would you like to comment anything there, sir?
All right. Yes. Wonderful. Because now we're talking about field frequency and field energy. That is another benefit of biophotons in the water or clustered water. So, if I may, I'm going to stand up and please just write this down or remember the notes, because you're going to do a test and you need someone behind you. So we just talk about kinesiology. So just put your hands in front like that and lock them. And now, if you wouldn't mind, you put them behind your back like that and lock them. The other person doing the demonstration, which probably is going to be you, you take your fist and you press down in the cap of their two hands when they're behind the back. So always do it. I'm going to count 1, 2, 3. And you say, I'm on the count of 3, I'm going to press. And you're going to resist me. So there's no trickery in this. So you count 1, 2, 3, you press down, and they tend to go like that. Or if they're a little older, they tend to lose their balance. So be careful to hold them. That's a little kinesiology test. So you do that first. Okay? Then you take your mist spray. I always do this first thing when I come into the office in the morning. My mist spray goes, so it's already done. But then I put it on the bottom right-hand side where behind my back, if you like. Bottom right-hand side, I just spray twice. Front left-hand side, I spray the floor twice, 2 little mist sprays. Then I spray top left, bottom left, if you like, twice, and bottom right. The sequence of this being, if you like, top right to bottom left goes like that, and then it goes around anti-clockwise. So anti-clockwise spin in the frequencies and the sine wave. When I've done that when the person hasn't moved, they've lost their energy, and now I do the same test, they haven't moved, and I press, you can almost stand on the pressure pressing down and they can't move. Now, you take them out of the square and you press again and they go back again and they lose their weight. It's the one that really impresses them is the third thing, i.e. they've discovered that when they're surrounded by photonic frequencies, they feel comfortable. Outside that, the environment we live in now, the spike waves are still there.
Ian, how high does that energy go?
We have been able to confirm that it goes up to 30 meters. We can confirm that, but the impact, I would say, on a human being, when you're doing this, take that frequency up to around about 6 meters, and then you're comfortable.
Okay. And how long does it last?
That's the hard thing with biophotons. They're constantly being attacked, so that we lose all of that because there's nothing, they are not being recharged, if you like. So I would say safely 2.5 hours. In a mist spray, I would say 48 hours, because can I show everybody the bottom or not?
We'll wait.
Okay.
Wait for that one. Here's what I will say.
Go
ahead, Ian.
It's around 2.5, safely, but then people can say up to 2 days.
Okay. Is it okay? Will the app work on an iPad? Seeing as how an iPad uses app and a tablet uses an app?
Yes. iPads work as long as you've got the biophotons or the photons from the iPad. The answer is yes.
Okay. Okay, excellent. Something I was going to ask there. Okay, let's talk about some of the benefits that people might receive when you start putting that quality water in. It changes every cellular activity within your body. I feel like I'm more alive now than you could possibly imagine because everything feels functional. It's a weird statement to say, but everything feels very functional internally. How would you comment on how this affects us?
Um, I think the most important thing is once you have um, influenced the body or reminded the cells in your system to perform in the correct manner, you feel that much brighter, stronger, more balanced. A lot of people seem to be unbalanced these days, and they can get snappy when they talk. They get angry over tiny little things, and you'll find that this balance of sine waves again comes back to them. They don't have to meditate so much. It's really, really the sine waves that is doing this. So sports people do this on the beach. Don't believe a word I say. I'm from the north of England. Run 100 meters, timed, okay? Then spray, wait 10 seconds, and run 100 meters again. You're quicker on the second time.
Absolutely.
Wouldn't you like that in your daily life routine to be happier and smiling more and more balanced and have more strength for whatever you want to do? That's all we say. Yeah.
And you're sending chills down my spine again on account of the fact that it is water that is affecting this change in so many, many ways within our bodies, our plants, our animals, and it's a beautiful thing. So, what clinical studies and trials and other forms of evidence do we have to support this technology? And we know it's been tested by Emoto and validated for the fact that it structures the water, but I'll let you say it in your own words.
Okay. Well, there's lots of work over the years. You can research the technology, photons. You can research structured water. And you get lots and lots of scientific papers, which is great. But here's one thing: if you use the technology on, let's say, your dog or your cat, put 2 bowls of water down. Your dog or your cat will go to the one that we have influenced, not to the one that we haven't influenced. And it's your water. We're not selling you water. It's your water. It's
Yes.
carrying the sine waves and the frequencies. It's your water and it's non-religious. So it covers everybody and it impacts all sorts of lives. And if you've got a horse and you're in a race, spray the horse's forehead before the race, it wins.
So, next question. It would be what about the quality of water? Utilizing tap water or reverse osmosis or salt water or whatever.
Whatever your
How does this
preference,
influence this?
whatever your preference, we're talking about the influence of creating structured water that carries a sine wave and frequencies in it. Doesn't matter what water.
So, so when it comes to putting the water underneath the beds, is there a recommended volume of water to use?
If you're going to put the water under the bed, remember, fill the water all the way up to the neck so that there is no air gap. And you place 1 bottle of water, bottom right-hand side, second bottle of water, bottom left, top left, bottom right. I had to say that again. And now the answer to the question, I would say 500 ml of water in each bottle is fine. The night after you've put it down first, you will find lots, I would say 4 or 5 black little dust particles, and it's normally in the bottom left. And that ionic information is um, carried in the water, and it collects the environmental Wi-Fi spikes that would normally go through you in your bed and make everybody um, uncomfortable, or well, they sleep, but they don't feel as though they've had a good night's sleep. So you'll find 3 or 4 or maybe more little black pieces of dust in there. And all that is the plus ion from the Wi-Fi spikes being converted into a minus ion, and it floats. And you'll see it. It can't discharge itself because it's in the top of the water.
Mhm. Okay.
The interesting thing is to change that water, I would say, because again, you're not constantly charging that water. I would say change that water every 3 or 4 days maximum.
Okay. All right. So let's see. So some people are asking, how much data do we need in order to function the biophotonic charger? Because some people are functioning, I think, without data, and they want to know what they would need to add in order because they would like to purchase and use the charger.
Okay. At the moment, we are sending all the data live through a web. So because we're sending it through the web, as long as you have a connection to the web, you're not storing the data. So you can use it if you are using the web, because every time you use the technology, it goes onto the web. We are researching having a minimum web storage in a phone, and that would be about 54 megabytes to give you an answer. So that's the next stage of the technology. And don't forget, I first tested this technology about maybe 4 or 5 years ago. So it's not new.
Okay. So may I ask if that storage would be for additional frequencies?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Another nice question just came up from Dr. Wolf there, and that is, what happens to the 5G on your phone? Great question, sir, because everybody's worried about that one. It converts your 5G, it doesn't convert the 5G. The spike signal is still there, but it reduces it because it's the light that we're sending the information through, and it's already left your phone. And the sine wave is in the light. But try this. Make some tissue paper, put some seeds on it, wet it. Two separate tissues with 2 separate sets of seeds from the same packet. If you've got 2 phones, you need to borrow your wife or your husband's phone to get the second one. And then at night, when you're not using the phone, put the tissue on the phones. One has got the photon charger on it, and one does not have the photon charger on it. Play the photon charger, doesn't cost you anything to play it. That once, with the seeds underneath the light, and then this one stands alone. So they're both on similar phones, both 5G. This one, the one that has the app on it, these seeds will germinate. It'll take about 3 or 4 days because you're only doing this at night, because during the day you're using it as a phone or whatever. But just to prove to you that the app on your 5G phone has an influence, a positive influence on its impact on your cells.
Okay. So what are the limitations on this technology? And are there certain conditions or situations where it may not be effective?
Sorry.
The limitations on the technology, are there any? And is there any times when it might not do what it's supposed to do?
I haven't come across any times. I've come across frequent misuse. So the frequent misuse would be trying to shine the light or influence the water through glass or through plastic or whatever. It's got to be directly onto it. The other one is to make the uh, technology limited, or not make it. We didn't do it intentionally, but I would say do not shine the light any further away than around about 4 or 5 centimeters from the thing you want to influence.
Okay. Are there any individuals who should not use the biophotonic charger for any underlying issues or medical conditions or anything like that?
I haven't found any. I'm sure there's going to be some. There's going to be some, but I haven't found any over the years. Just none yet.
This is a very good question. How does this active pulse delivery of frequency differ from other possible passive methods of creating structured water? Example is the physical vortexing.
Um, I think using the biophoton, remember it, I developed it to recharge a lot of my old equipment um, because the 5G had impacted that. So I would say its main use is in recharging, if you like, my old equipment or recharging equipment when it's just used as a phone application to change structured water. I would say it's limited to around about 300 to 400 mil at any one time, and that's its main use. So it's instant. Many other technologies, they take time to change to structured water. We do it absolutely instantly. No wait in time.
Once this is structured and energized with the frequencies, we know that it's a depletion of the energy. And does the structure deplete with the energy, the
The
frequency?
structure depletes slowly compared to the frequencies.
Yeah.
So you can still have your structure, you can still get your wonderful crystals. So has anybody seen the book Water, what's it? The Living Language of Water by
Okay.
Vida Anderson. And that wonderful book shows some of the amazing things that water does to represent itself in all many other ways. Amazing photographs. And when she took our photographs and she did the tests on our water, the photographs, yes, thank you. Somebody has put that up. Wonderful. Please go and buy that book because it's mind blowing. Um, the crystals and the structures she found in our water, they lasted around about 5 days without any recharging or anything else.
Okay, very good. Okay. What's the future hold for this technology? Where are we going? What's our future?
Well, of course, no one can predict the future. We can guess the future, and I think the future is going to be we probably are going to have some smaller little products that it will recharge, and you will love the recharger. But every little product is going to always need a recharger because 6 and 7G is coming along, and we're always going to need to start whatever we do with a charger. And I would say charge yourself, spray yourself, spray your own chakras before you go out, after lunch or during lunch, and when you come home. You'll have a brilliant day. and you'll just feel that much better.
So one of my concerns is the effect of EMF on children in particular. How do you feel about this?
Uh, there's so many different people talking about it out there. Um, all I can say is when we've come across these children, we tend to spray them and they become calm. That's what we found. But you might find something different. I don't go out there and try and find and go and say it does this. Um, the Dr. Wolf said the knowledge of water will keep evolving. It is the knowledge isn't there, but the water does everything. We just don't know it does yet. So please use it for the betterment of humankind. I haven't found a negativity on it yet.
Excellent. For someone listening who is concerned about the EMF exposure and wants to take actions, what are their first steps?
Well, here's one for you. Spray the man over his body and he becomes less of a thug. That's one. He's stronger, but he calms down. The next one is if you look around the world, particularly in developed worlds, the sperm count has gone down. Men are not able to produce children in the quantities that we were, like Mike Butler's father did around the world. So the sperm count we need to lift. And I would say giving the men this helps towards reducing the impact of the spike wave at that moment of conception. Just a theory, but
Okay.
it seems to have worked in a few places.
It's been tested, you're saying.
We've tested it.
Okay. Well, let me see what other questions we have. Yeah, get them to stop carrying the phones next to in their pockets. That's a good one. At this point, I think I don't see any more questions coming in. So some thoughts from you on our group, our affiliates. What would you inspire them with in your way to say, go heal the world with water and frequencies?
I would say, please don't talk about frequencies because everybody thinks you're a nutcase. Don't really talk about anything other than sine waves and the environment. The environment we all live in has changed. Don't knock a mobile phone because they think you're stupid, because we all need mobile phones. So the environment we live in has spike waves, and this reminds our cellular cells of the sine wave that actually we all need to live. And it's only not found when it's in a dead tree, a dead cat, a dead fish, a dead animal, or a dead human being. You can find spike waves, but you can't find a sine wave. Sine wave is the most important thing. And we have overlooked that in many, many, many ways while we humans have developed ways of making money, manufacturing, etc., etc. And the sine wave helps to create clustered water, and that cluster in the water, look it up on your webpage, is really good. It really touches the lives of everyone very simply.
So I was watching a video earlier on this week, and it was a woman who was flushing the COVID spike protein with water. Is this of any benefit to,
No,
okay, anybody with the way that it detoxes? It's not going to do anything in
no,
that
no,
sense.
not at all. What we're trying to do is allow the cells in your body to accept what they want rather than having them consume what we think is good for them. What I think might not be good for you, although my intention is good for you. it might not be the right thing, but if you give something, a cluster of water, to a living thing, that living thing can choose within that water absorption what it wants to take. End of story. That is the greatest gift of life from life to life.
And that's exactly what we're offering is, in essence, the gift.
The gift.
Because this
And
is a
just
gift.
as you were here, all of you were here, thanks to your mothers, you're at that precise moment, that 1 in 1,000 eggs chose your father's sperm. That chance of you being you is fantastic. But if I can enhance that chance by using the frequency of sine waves to improve that life and its growth and your calmness and your future, I'd rather just in case he's right, I'll take a spray. And I think that's the way.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir. Let's just double check, see if there's any other questions. When you do a biomist application on the chakras, how long will that last?
Um, Probably all day. But I say, just in case, because a lot of people are in really constant spike, I say do it in the morning, lunch, and evening.
And it doesn't hurt, so spray away.
It doesn't. And spray it on the outside of your clothes. You don't have to spray it on your naked body, because
Yeah.
if you've got a naked body as ugly as mine, I'm not sure if it works that well.
Uh, so, any special tips for pets with the water besides giving them the water?
Okay. Um,
Spray.
well, I think the best thing is to give them the water, but you'll find if you use the mist when you're grooming your dog or your cat, you'll find that the hair is easier to comb, and they feel happier because now you have given them what I call the chakra treatment.
Beautiful. Okay. Well, what about spraying the biomist? Ah, this was a good one. This was something that somebody had brought up, and I myself was going to do that. But what about this belly button and the effects
Right.
and spraying your belly button?
Well, depending on where you go in the world, the belly button is really, really highly, highly regarded as an area of massive influence on the body because, of course, it was the last tenure to your
To your
mum,
mother.
okay, before it was taken. So that's absolutely. It does. I don't think it lasts all day. I don't think if you spray your belly button, it lasts all day. But I think if you spray the belly button, it does influence particularly children, who are being born and cared for in love, and then they come into this environment outside when they're going around the shops or whatever and you can see the changes. And parents can see the changes straight away. Um, yes, the belly button has thousands of nerve ends. But if you talk about it, you're going to be a nutcase. So be careful. Please be careful.
Yes, when charging the water, it should be in a glass and not plastic.
Correct.
And yeah, so spraying your daughter would be, she probably lasts her school day and spray when you get home. Okay. Any more questions, comments, thoughts? If not, if I'm holding the phone in front of me to beam myself, do I rotate the phone clockwise, like when we see
Okay.
you beaming at us
My,
remotely?
okay. My sincere, absolute advice is do not hold the phone in front of you. Yes, you get some positive impacts, and yes, you can do the kinesiology impact. But remember the sperm The story, you are absolutely unique. You're not the same as anybody else. And this is why sometimes light can negatively influence a human, not the water, but a human. So that's why on the TVs you see sometimes, or on YouTube you sometimes see warning, this has flash photography, because you can have then somebody set off an emotion just because you've got a bright light in front of their eyes. So please do not use it to recharge, because 1 in 8 people these days can have a negative influence to flashlights. So I tend not to do using the light as a treatment. But I'll tell you the story. Dr. Carlos and Emoto, who showed us both that the light from the phone that we were using had amazing influences on our bodies. And he would do anti-clockwise turns across the body, but he would make us hold our hands in front and promise not to have our hands over our eyes looking at the light. And he would do this front and back, and we would stand still, and he would turn right to left. So he would go around the body. To answer your question, Susan, but my advice, don't teach it, because it can be negative.
Yes, you're able to charge. You do the remote charging like we did here, and it's a great way to close a sale, believe me. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't understand the comment about ought one spray before and after COVID or flu shots. I don't know because we don't take any of those things, so I wouldn't know how to answer that one.
Yeah, and whatever you believe in, so uh, we don't remove that negativity that I know of or care to talk about.
Yeah, yeah, no. Okay. Well, I think, Ian, that we might be at the end of this event. And just want to say to everybody that I want to appreciate y'all being here. And at the same time, don't go away because Paul's got something he's going to be doing here momentarily because based on the people on this call, we're going to be doing a little draw to just give everybody a little bonus here today. So stay with us there. Ian, I want to thank you for your time here today.
Thank
And
you.
it looks like everybody is pretty graciously thanking you here also. And we're going to unmute Paul so that he can jump in here and do his thing.
Thank you, Paul.
Out.
If you don't mind, Paul, I've got to get onto a phone now to, believe it or not, over to Colombia because on one of my other businesses, we supply some medical devices down there, and I've just got to do a little bit of training down there. So forgive me. Bye all.
Thank you,
Have a
Ian. Thank
super,
you very
super
much.
day. Speak to you soon.
I'll talk to you
God bless.
soon. Cheers.
Enjoy the day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Okay, Paul, I believe that you're able to unmute and take the comm and jump in there. Oh, did I get you?
Yep, I'm good.
All right, very good. So
Um,
everybody, we're doing a little draw today. Paul, I'm going to let you take the comm on this one, since how you've got the device there and everything else, and I'll just be the man signing the checks, as they say.
okay, well, first off, I guess let me run through the names. I think I've got 29 here, but if you don't hear your name, which is basically what you've got here on your screen for who you are, let me know, please, in the comments in the chat. So Philippa, Peter and Shirley, Paula Blatcher, Christine, David G, Jeremy, Marcel, Don B, Riaz, Nicole, Susan, P. McCullum, Carolyn Lewis, Paula Wood, George, Sylvia, iPad, Mary's Galaxy, John, Dawn, Edwina, Joan Roy, iPhone, Jill Atkinson, Barbara Hicks, Nelson D., Claudia, Paula Wood, and Mary Kay Paris. If you didn't hear your name, give me a shout in the chat.
Asha Burton.
You got Natasha Burton. Okay, let me just grab that.
Anybody else? Okay, so what we'll do is we'll do three.
Okay, and let me just hit
David
spin.
Gilbert. Did you get David Gilbert?
David Gilbert. David G, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, are we ready?
Spinner.
Let's-
We're rolling the dice, indeed.
All right, Nicole.
Nicole
You're
Smith.
the winner. You're the first winner. Yes.
Let me write that down. Okay, one down, two to go.
Okay. Oh.
If Marcel wins, don't call his name. Oh, no, I shouldn't say that.
And winner number two is Paula Blatcher.
Ah,
Congratulations, Paula. Okay, ready for number three?
yeah.
Drum roll, please. Barbara Hicks is our third winner.
Oh, women, what's up?
I have no control over that.
Yeah, that's okay. All right, excellent. So here's what we will need from these three people. You all have accounts. Go to the ticket system, create a ticket, and enter your shipping details, your complete name, address, shipping details in the ticket system, and we'll get this off to you. That's the way I want it to be done, please. Okay. All right, and congratulations, everybody that has won there today. You can give us your feedback later after you have won. And what did you won? They have been recipients and will receive a frequency bracelet, and that will be part of our soft launch promo for us to move forward and get people actively using technology, drinking the water, and excited to be building themselves an income stream while helping people to be healthier, happier human beings, happier pets, animals, and stronger plants all the way around. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here today. Be sure to get us your contact information into the system. You've all received basically a $60 US gift for showing up here today. So thank you. And next call will be next Wednesday at 7 p.m. We're off into our soft launch now. So feel free. Bring your family, bring your friends, sell your apps, and reap the rewards of wonderful, amazing, natural, improved health. Thank you all for being here. The same link, yes, the same link. And the link has been standardized. It's the link on the website, it's the link in the emails. There will be no confusion as to where to find us on Wednesdays. All right, everybody, have yourself a wonderful evening. And spray before bed and drink before bed and sleep well. Amen.